Week 3. Hello! I'm getting really bad at this week. Welcome to the vlog. Hey friends, it is Thursday the 15th of November, which means we are about halfway through. It's about 9 p.m. and I don't have any words written yet, so this is going really well. But if I do hit my writing goal today, I will hit 25,000, which would be amazing. I've been writing like all day. I just haven't been writing for this project. This is what always happens to me. I always get behind when I have other writing, like work-related writing to do, because it's just like the same stuff and it kind of zaps my energy. Anyway, I'm gonna go right now. Hey, it is Friday, TGIF, and I am feeling awesome. Like, I am just feeling incredibly awesome. I got up and I wrote about 500 words this morning, 511 exactly, I think, and it really does make a difference. And to be honest with you, it pains me to say this because I am not normally a morning writer. I'm not normally a morning person, full stop. And I just feel great that I already have like 500 words under my belt, and like I taught my class and I went to the gym and I got all of this stuff done, and you know, now I have writing time. Flower. Hi. Yeah, come here. Oh my word. What an acrobat. Good morning, humans. It is the 17th of November, and here is a brief update on yesterday and this morning. So yesterday I was doing okay on my word count, but I started to feel a little bit, lethargic, and I didn't feel like writing anymore. Big shout out to Sarah Scharnweber and the other folks who were doing a live write-ins with her on her channel. I ended up getting to about 2,000 and lighting issues. 2,030 words, which is pretty good. Obviously, it exceeded my goal for that day, but I do have some catch up to do. It's just the story of my life, and this is just how I am as a writer, I guess. Woo! But the real reason why I stopped writing during the write-in, or wasn't as productive as I think I could have been even, is because I got to the end of a section. And when I get to the end of a section, I sort of have to do a mental reset before I dive into the next section. And so that's really what I was working on throughout the rest of the evening. Doing a little bit of research on some of the science-y things that go into my book, because those are coming up, and I am not a scientist. So if you are and you want to like read my book and tell me what's wrong with it, I invite your criticism. Constructive criticism. Yay. Anyway, so I did finish out the night strong, and then once that write-in was wrapping up, I had every intention, yes, you're honking, I had every intention after that write-in was wrapping up of going to bed, calling it a night, but there was another write-in that was just starting on Jenna Streety's channel. Anyway, so we ended up chatting about the difference between self-publishing and traditional publishing, and, you know, the difference between science fiction and fantasy, and I have a lot of thoughts about those things, so hopefully I will make some, I don't know, more scripted videos for you in the future delving into those topics. But so this morning I wanted to really get a jump start on writing again, and, you know, bang out like, I don't know, 200 to 500 words just before I left the house. That didn't happen because I got distracted by a terrifying internet article. It happens, right? So I had to go out and run some errands, but now I am done with my errands. I am gonna go home. I'm starving, so I'm gonna eat some of that delicious chili that I made last night with cornbread. And I am gonna write my butt off until it's time for yoga. My life is just a pattern. It's just becoming cliche to you. Blah blah. Yoga, writing, blah blah, cat. I swear to God, I could cry on camera right now. Yoga brings out emotions sometimes. Today was the kind of day where I just felt like everything was against me in my practice. It was incredibly hot in there, and somehow I ended up next to the same guy who put his foot on my mat the other week. My body was just not feeling it. All of the poses were harder. We were doing a lot of balance poses. I stubbed my toe really hard the other day, and it just wasn't happening today, and I wanted to whine like a small child the entire time. And I think that this type of yoga experience for me is one of the most relevant to writing, because it sort of reminds me to ask myself, how often do I feel that way when I'm writing? And if I feel that way when I'm writing, do I push through? Because I do. If I'm in a yoga class in a room of people, I'm not gonna like stop in the middle of the class. I mean, I will if like it's bad for my body or something, but I'm gonna like finish the class to whatever extent it's possible for my body. But if I'm just like writing alone, I don't know, maybe I don't push through. So that is your Saturday nugget of wisdom from yoga. Everything's fine. I'm just vlogging.
Oh, okay. Are you gonna record?
Oh my God, I have no idea what my life is. Been really bad at vlogging because today is, you should probably know this, today is the 20th. So it's day 20 of Nano. Here's my update. I'm a little bit behind, probably about 2,000 words behind, because again, I had that really busy weekend this weekend with the wedding, and then it's like Monday, like the theme of Mondays is migraines, like migraine Mondays. It's very alliterative and very cruel. So writing wise, what I'd say is that I've gotten to this place in my book where I'm really trying to push myself forward more and push myself forward faster. Not in terms of the words, but in terms of the pacing, in terms of like how long I'm spending on each scene or each section. I'm really trying to cut down those word counts because I'm aware that I'm going to have to cut significantly from the first section of the manuscript. And I think that that does happen, that there's this sort of like scaffolding thing that you need as a writer to write the book, but you need to take out later. As I push forward, it's not that I'm unwilling to cut words, or it's not that I'm uninterested in just like writing it and then figuring it out later, like doing the revising later. I don't want to censor myself too much, but I'm just trying to keep that idea in the back of my head. Like, don't get so entrenched in this particular scene that you don't allow the rest of the things that need to happen in the book to happen. So that's what I'm working on now. And then, like, oh my God, I had a class last night. So I take a class as well as teaching various classes because, you know, it is always important to keep your skills moving forward. And one of the best ways to do that is to take a class. Another great way to do that is by watching YouTube videos. So congratulations, you. But classes are also really, really useful, you know, even after you have your MFA, like I do, even at any point in your career, right? Because you're sort of seeing other people's perspectives. You're seeing how another teacher handles their class. If you're a teacher, you're seeing, you're getting new experience, new exercises, you're getting feedback from the people in your class and sort of staying connected to a writing community. Anyway, so I was taking a class, and so the prompt this week had to do with revision. And I was just like, why would you do this to me? You're killing me. Like, it had to do with cutting words. And I was like, I can't do that. Like, I can't do this. So, I mean, I like played along and like put a strike through on some of the words in my manuscript for part of the time, and then just continued writing for the second half of the exercise time, because the issue of cutting words, you know, for me is not just that I'm cutting down on my word count, it's that I'm letting back in that inner editor and I'm being critical of my work before I have that first draft out. And I can be a certain amount of critical, but to edit really effectively, you need to have a different kind of criticism within you. And so, yeah, that just didn't feel like the right place for me to go at that time. So as with yoga, writing and writing classes and prompts and exercises are all about modifying what you're given to suit your writing practice, and whatever you need from it at that time. So in that spirit, I am about to give you your prompt for the week, but remember that you can modify it to suit you. Of course, you never have to do a prompt, but you can also think about, okay, how could I change this prompt just slightly so that it would suit me and my characters and my world better than it does. Make one character try to explain something, anything you can imagine, to another character. But that thing should be something that is difficult in some way. So, you know, it might be something that is culturally frowned upon, something even illegal, a little bit immoral, outrageous, whatever it is. And remember that that is specific to the culture of the character that you're talking about. So if you're writing a contemporary piece, then you might be talking about contemporary American culture, and that's great, but contemporary American culture in Los Angeles is not the same as contemporary American culture in Arkansas, right? We have differences, and culture can vary also, and norms can vary from one like household to another, one social group to another, whatever, right? So think about those things. But then also, you know, if you are writing something that's sci-fi or something that is fantasy or takes place, maybe it's even historical, right? You have to think a little bit more specifically about, maybe not more specifically, but because it's something that you might not be as familiar with, sometimes you have to think a little bit harder about what would be outrageous to that person. This prompt can be especially great to do if it's with two people who are fairly different in terms of like, maybe you do it across generations. You know, we're always, at some point, you know, you say something to your parents and they're like, what? And at some point, if you have children now or eventually, they'll say something to you and you'll be like, what? So just how does that go? Or, you know, it could be a conversation between people who are from very different places. But it's also really interesting, you know, if you have two characters who are very similar in many ways, maybe they're like best friends and they're like joined at the hip, what is the thing that comes up in their relationship where they're kind of like, whoa, hang on a second, we got to rethink that one. Because, yeah. So anyway, really like this prompt. Please go have fun writing it. And I have to write for today, so let's do it together. Yay! So I had a pretty good writing session. It was probably about 40-ish minutes, and I wrote about 750 words, so I have a little bit less than 1,000 to go for the rest of the day, and then I just got ready because I do have a dinner to go to tonight, and now it looks like I'm gonna be able to squeeze in maybe another hour or so of writing, probably a little less than that because I don't want to be, you know, cutting it close because sometimes there's traffic. But anyway, things are going pretty well, and I hope they are for you too. Let me give you another prompt. Surprise! 2 prompts, 1 vlog. That's a reference that I don't want to think about. Anyway, my second prompt for you is this, and it's a little bit simpler, so here we go. Your character hears knocking on their door, but when they answer it, no one's there. Or your character keeps knocking on a door or several doors and no one answers. So you can go either way with that prompt. I actually had already brainstormed that prompt, but the scene that I wrote just involved somebody knocking on a door, so it felt appropriate to share it now. Anyway, let's continue writing. My tea is very self-centered today, or it's encouraging me to be very self-centered. On the little tag thing, it says, in the beginning is you, in the middle is you, and in the end is you. Also you. And I'm just like, oh, okay, so I can roll with this. I mean, what I can take away from this as a writer is that every story should have a beginning, middle, and end. And since all of my beginnings, middles, and ends have me, we're good. Hey friends, just got back from dinner, before dinner, so I just wanted to update you. I had a really great writing session. I haven't been that good about updating writing session by writing session, but I think later on tonight, if I have a chance, I'm going to go through, or maybe tomorrow, I'm going to go through sort of how the days have shaken out this week. Today's looking good. I'm pretty much at my word count. I think I'm like maybe 50 words short or something, and I finished a scene right before I was leaving, and I didn't want to start another one and then have to run out the door. So I'm gonna catch up on those 50 words, and then I'm hoping to bank a little bit, do a little bit more writing tonight, because I do still feel like I have some creative energy in me, and it's only like 8:30, but I think I need to just like take a minute to decompress. Well, that was a slightly longer break than I planned on taking. What can I say? Shaylin Wrights put up a video and I got a little bit distracted. So now it's 10, but I'm still gonna write tonight. I'm just gonna do it from my bed. I wrote 13 words, so that's fine, right? I can be done now? Okay, this is fine. You like writing. Like, sometimes you just have to look at yourself and say, Stephanie, I like writing. I'm sorry, what? Sometimes you just have to look at yourself and say, Stephanie, you like writing. Insert name here. You like writing. Okay, it is 11 p.m. and I was able to get a good, that's probably about like 700 more words in. So I'm at 2,263 words now for today, and I am donezo. I did realize that I'm gonna have to have a lot of writing and grading time over the Thanksgiving break though, because all my students are turning in their important work this week, and I have another class to prep for on Sunday for SFF class, and oh wow, it is just gonna be a working holiday for me. What have I done to myself? Okay, I'm gonna stop talking now and go to bed. I have this adorable succulent that is growing or propagating, and this one is becoming a proper plant, except tiny. So good.